Hey, what's going on everybody? Mr. Brickswag back here with another video. Today we will be reviewing another LEGO Star Wars set. And this time, this is actually a very special set. So as you guys may know, Star Wars has a couple of movies that it's based off of. So the original trilogy, which are episodes 4 to 6. You got the prequels, which are 1 to 3. And then you have a lot of stuff before, kind of in the middle or after. Stuff like The Mandalorian, The Old Republic, Rogue One, things like that. And so with every piece of Star Wars media, you kind of get a lot of new LEGO sets. However, the next set that I'm going to review, this one is really interesting because it's not based on any of that media really at all. And it's right here. Here we have the Resistance Transport. And this is a really interesting set because it's actually, again, not based off an IP. It's based on Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland. So if you can see on the lower corner right here, it's actually based on the land at Disneyland. I think they have one at Disney World too in Hollywood Studios, and that's really interesting because again, it's part of a ride, not an actual movie or TV show. So it's interesting that they would make this. I want to say this is the only set that they ever made based off of the land, and it's exclusive to the land, and not based on anything else. So that's really interesting. So this takes, I guess, like the ride, just to give you a little bit of context without any spoilers, it takes place during the sequel trilogy, basically, during the Resistance era. And so this ship is, used to transport Resistance people, right? And so when you go on the ride, you're part of that crew. And so that is really interesting to me. If you guys don't know, the only thing I really love more than Legos or Star Wars is theme parks. And so Lego Star Wars set based on a theme park ride is absolutely incredible. So can't wait to unbox this. It looks absolutely amazing. Can't wait to build it. I've heard a lot of really great things, so hopefully it's a fun build. And I'll go ahead and unbox the contents and then do a full review as I usually do. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy. All right, everybody, I am back. I just unboxed this set. Forgot to mention this, but this is actually a retired set, which is fairly interesting. So I had to go ahead and get it from my local Bricks and Minifigs. I got it for $140. Typically on eBay, you're gonna find it anywhere from $120 to $160 are prices I've seen. So $140 is a pretty good price, and again, I don't have to pay like shipping or anything. So all in all, it's actually a really good price. It's very fair. So I'm glad that they made it pretty reasonable, and it's an amazing condition too. I mean, the box, absolutely pristine, sealed. The bags, everything looks complete. So there's supposed to be a total of 8 numbered bags, according to the instruction manual, which also came in its little own packaging, by the way, which is rare to see. I guess. Well, not too rare, I guess. Usually they come in paper envelopes, but I guess this time it came in a plastic bag. So yeah, you can see those 8, so you can see the progression of that. And yeah, you basically just goes straight into the instructions. There's really nothing interesting about it because it's not a UCS set. Also comes with a couple stickers. Hopefully this isn't too bad. I mean, again, stickers are never great, but they can sometimes be used in better ways than others. So hopefully the way that these are used are actually pretty good. But yeah, just really excited to build this set again. I love the ride. Rise of the Resistance is one of my favorite rides of all time, so hopefully this set turns out great. Can't wait to see, all the details and stuff and kind of reimagine myself back at Disneyland. But yeah, I'll go ahead and build it and get back to you. All right, guys, welcome back. Just finished the build of the Resistance ITS Transport, and I gotta say, this thing looks absolutely amazing. Just talk about the build process before anything, because that is really what impresses me most about this set. The build process was incredibly fun, like really fun. If I had to give it an overall rating, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Really the only painful part of the build were these engines. They weren't horrible, but they were a little repetitive compared to the rest of the build. However, the rest of the build was just absolutely perfect, and so I just, again, overall give it a 9 out of 10. Just one of the most fun building experiences ever. Wasn't very difficult either. There was only maybe 1 or 2 difficult parts, so very low difficulty rating, but yeah, just overall building experience, absolutely incredible. But before we talk about the actual build, let's go ahead and talk about the minifigures. So over here, You have a character I honestly have never heard of. I think her name is Vi. Um, I've ridden this ride, and I don't think she appears in here, so it's some sort of like expanded lore, I guess. She's probably some sort of resistance soldier. She's got a little gun there. Looks pretty cool. You got that little printed torso on there. A little bit of back printing. The legs are not printed, but that's fine. And the hairpiece is really cool. So, yeah, good looking character. Honestly, I don't have any emotional attachment, but no, that's fine. Then you have Lieutenant Beck, who actually is definitely a huge part of the ride. One of the biggest parts of the ride for sure. I think his race is Mon Calamari. That's what they call them, people from Mon Calamari. So the same as, Admiral Akbar and various other characters throughout Star Wars movies and shows. So really, really good looking head mold right there. The torso's a little basic. Again, there's no leg printing or arm printing or anything. I think there's a little bit of printing on the back. Pretty basic overall, but the headpiece is really what sells it. And I'm glad that we got an actual character from the ride on here. Speaking of characters from the ride, we have another character from the ride. So this is an astromech droid. I believe this is the one that helps you escape. Spoiler alert. Sorry. It's not a huge spoiler. I mean, I'll just leave it at that. It helps you escape. I'm not going to give any more context in that. But that's the one that is on the resistance side, I believe. There is another one that is on the First Order side. So I think this is the good one. And then you have the Gonk droid, which is not from the ride, but looks really cool. I like the sand green color. Really, really pops. I love that sand green. That's why I love Boba Fett so much. But yeah. Oh, by the way, no back printing on this droid. That wasn't obvious enough. But yeah. Anyway, cool minifigure lineup. I think it's pretty suitable for the set. Really no complaints. But then again, I'm not a big minifigure guy anyway. So time to get into the real important stuff, which is the build. So in terms of the aesthetics of the build, I'll go ahead and show you a couple angles, but from the top angle, looks pretty good. Nice mix of tiled off stuff as well as some studs showing, which is pretty cool. Then you have kind of like a side view right here. You do have a couple stickers here, but they're not very noticeable and they blended really well. So actually the sticker usage in this set, I think was great. It's always better to print them, obviously, but I don't really mind. This is also, again, a sticker, but yeah, nothing really offensive about these. These are pretty small for the most part, and again, I think they were necessary to keep the price down, so I'm fine with it. Then you have kind of the front section here, so there's a little play feature here. There are these turrets that you can spin around, and you can shoot little studs out of them, so that's pretty cool. Also, just this area just looks really nice in general, very smooth out, really cool. And this is kind of the front of the vehicle. You got those like black pieces that are a little transparent. Really cool looking, really slick. I love the way they did this. So just a really, really slick piece. But my favorite part up here is, I don't even know if you notice it right now, but there's actually a cockpit you can access. Again, it's kind of well hidden. I mean, the only thing that really is exposed here is a Technic piece. But you can kind of lift this out and you get access to the cockpit. Unfortunately, the cockpit is pretty small. It's really not very much space at all. In the ride, you don't get to access the cockpit anyway, but I guess in here you do, which is cool. And there's a little sticker in there. I think it's like a targeting system or something like that. It's like some sort of vision system or computer screen, and that's a cool detail, I guess. Again, it's a very limited cockpit. There's not much going on, but it's cool that they added it as a feature, so I do appreciate that. And again, when you close it, it looks ultra smooth. I mean, you could barely tell that there's anything here. I mean, again, there's like very little like kind of jarring transition. So it looks really, really clean, especially from afar. I mean, you get a little bit up close, you can kind of see if there's like a gap there and stuff. And, some of this stuff isn't 100% aligned. But again, just looks really clean in general. And then you kind of look over here in the back side of things. Also looks really, really cool. You have, again, some more stud shooters here. It's a cool feature. I don't know if it's accurate to the ship, but I mean, the ship's fake anyway. It's not even part of the movies. It's really just made up by Disney. So I guess that doesn't matter. But all the engines here look really, really great. Again, it was kind of a tedious process building them, but in terms of like visual aspect, I mean, they look amazing, Got 8 of them right there. You build these 2, and then you build these 2. So just really, really cool looking. Really awesome. I love the color scheme on this thing too. It's just absolutely beautiful. The blue with the dark gray with the light gray, and then you got some black elements around. Really, really great. And then you got these, yellow highlights, and obviously the reds from the stud shooters. So just really cool looking. If you look, kind of like, I don't think there's a real underside to this set. But yeah, there's not really an underside, but it doesn't really matter. Again, you pretty much are only looking from like here up, so that's cool enough. And speaking of which, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I just kind of picked this setup with my hand. So it's kind of cool that you can do that. So it's really, really sturdy build. It doesn't really like break at all. You don't need a handle or anything to carry this. It's just so freaking sturdy, and you can pretty much grab it from anywhere. Maybe not here, but like anywhere along this area, I guess. You can grab it from the backside too pretty comfortably. Just make sure that you don't hit any of the engines. But yeah, it looks just really, really, really sturdy build. I love sturdy builds. I love good looking builds. This is a good looking sturdy build, so absolutely in love with that. And then there also is one more feature here. So we've covered pretty much all the external parts, which again I think look fantastic. But in terms of internal parts, you have a little top section over here that actually comes off. There is an alternative way to open it, which is that you can actually do this. You can pull this down and then pull this up. And you can do that on both sides, and it gives you access. But as you can see, it's kind of dark, and for video purposes, I think it's just not good to kind of use this method. But again, you can do that to access the interior. The way that I prefer to do it is you actually just lift off this kind of top piece right here. So shoot, let me see if I can do this with one hand. It's a little hard. I apologize in advance. Yeah, there we go. So just take this off. It comes right off. I mean, it's like I said, I'm only doing it with one hand, but it only is held in by two studs really. So it should be pretty easy if you're not a weakling like me. But yeah, you kind of got this going on here. This is probably the most disappointing part of the build for me. I wish we had more of an interior, but I completely understand why we don't. And the obvious reason is that there's too much Technic and too much, stability stuff going on for it to have a good interior. So again, I completely understand why the LEGO designers chose not to have a full interior. What we get is okay. I mean, it doesn't really resemble much of what you see in the ride. I guess like these frames do. So like these two are like definitely present in the ride vehicle, which is cool. But spoiler alert, the ride vehicle is a lot bigger than this. So, it's not really to scale or anything. Obviously, if it was minifig scale, this thing would be absolutely enormous. But, I'm not asking for it to be minifig scale. I just wish it had a little more of an interior. So that's probably the most disappointing part of it, but not a big deal to me. I'm more of a display guy anyway, so I don't really like to play with my sets, so I don't really mind. I would prefer for it to be accurate, but that's fine. You have a little crate in here that you can take off. Again, it's only two studs there, so it comes off pretty easily. And then inside here, I'm probably not going to take it off right now, but there are like two guns in here. You can kind of see the little black piece right there. But yeah, you got two guns in there. I think they're a little different than the ones that Vi and Lieutenant Beck are holding. These are a little bigger, but yeah, so you're carrying some guns, smuggling some guns for the resistance. But yeah, and I think there's enough space in here to fit like a couple minifigures, so you could put like Vi in there, and you could put Astromech Droid in there as well, maybe the Gong Droid, whatever you want. And then obviously I would put Lieutenant Beck in the cockpit because he's flying the thing. So anyway, I'll go ahead and close this back up. Oops, sorry, camera just panned over there. Again, there we go. This all folds down a little bit. Yep, looking real nice. And again, I just put this up and just swoosh it around. Looks so freaking awesome. So yeah, just really, really satisfied with the set overall. If I had to give it an overall rating, I would definitely give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's one of my favorite sets. Obviously, I'm biased. I'm a little, I have a little personal bias because I love this set so much. I mean, there's a reason why I got it, even though it's retired. But yeah, this is really, really awesome. It leads me to even want to get like more kind of play scale ships, maybe of ones that are not necessarily made in UCS form. Because if there's a UCS set, I'm gonna get that over a play set any day. But you know, since there is a couple of sets that you know will never get made into UCS form, and I'm sure that this is obviously one of them, I will be willing to get that. So kind of a spoiler alert for the future. I might get some, you know, sets that are similar to this, but yeah, definitely highly recommend this set. Obviously, it's not available in stores anymore, so you'd have to get it retired off of eBay or some third-party seller. But it is an awesome set, and I'm really glad I got it. One of my favorite builds this year, unexpectedly. But yeah, just absolutely love it, and would highly recommend. Again, I got this at my local Bricks and Minifigures, so if you guys want to support your local stores, go ahead and buy from there. But if not, again, third-party sites are usually pretty reliable. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this review. It's a little bit different than what I normally do. I know the video was a little long too, just because I love this set so much. I had to go over all the little details of it. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, please leave a like. Please comment below what future sets you guys want to see and what you think of my review. And then if you could also do me a huge favor and subscribe, helps out the channel a ton. You know, I'm always trying to upload more videos, be consistent with it. And so your support means everything to me as a small channel. So, all right, that's it. Mr. Brick Swag signing off, and peace, guys.